Well, we're back, and this week we'll be doing a perfumer spotlight. So I'll be showing you two perfumers who I'm absolutely in love with.
Nice.
And the reason why I'm choosing to focus on these perfumers is because I feel like a lot of times the perfumers don't get enough credit. They deserve to be given all the credit in the world because ultimately it's their creation and their thought and their love, blood, sweat, and tears that's poured into creating these fragrances. So I feel like we need to give credit where credit is due. So I'll be talking about two perfumers who have their work has really spoken to me personally and really changed the game for me in terms of my own fragrance journey. So if you're curious to hear about these two perfumers and some of their amazing creations, then let's go. All right, so the first perfumer I'm going to be talking about today is Jorge Lee. And Jorge Lee is a senior perfumer from Colombia. So Jorge has created some perfumes for Navitus, Unique Luxury, Collage, and Algabra Parfums, just to name a few. And he's also done quite extensive work with Nichane. So I think actually he's created more than half of the fragrances for Nichane. And as you guys know, one of my favorite houses, if not my favorite house, is Nichane. So quite naturally, I wanted to dive in to see who's been creating these fragrances for them because you guys know I love that house so much. You know, even more so, Jorge Lee as a perfumer has just been, just quite inspirational and really changed the game for me in terms of my own fragrance journey. So the first fragrance I'd like to talk about from Jorge Lee is from the house of Nichane. It's Ambra Calabria. The reason why I like this scent so much is if you take this scent and you cut it in half, it's complete polar opposites. On one side, you have a very citrusy, green, and slightly earthy touch, and on the other side, you get ambery vanilla that can work in every single season. This scent is so versatile and literally can be worn in any season. And as you guys know, I live here in Japan, so in the summertime it does get quite humid, but I can pull this one off in the summertime here in Japan, which is quite impressive. And it has that strength to also push through those winter and colder months. So yeah, this one is just extremely versatile. I love this. So this one starts out fresh, green, and citrusy, and then transforms into a dry, ambery vanilla scent that's just amazing. This one probably has one of the most gorgeous sillage trails. I can't get enough of it. It is
amazing.
And I'm surprised too that Ambra Calabria specifically really isn't that popular in the fragrance community, it seems. I feel like it doesn't get so much love, but it definitely should. If you haven't gotten your nose on this one, definitely check it out. This one's just so unique. And honestly, I don't have another fragrance that goes from very green to dry, sweet, ambery vanilla. I mean, it really is a complete 180, but I appreciate and I enjoy the journey whenever I'm wearing this one. So yeah, I can't get enough of it. This is one of those fragrances that will always be in my collection because I love it that much. So if you can, get yourself a sample of Ambra Calabria by Nichane. So this next fragrance from Jorge Lee is also from the house of Nichane. We have Sultan Vetiver. So this is a vetiver lover's dream. I mean, it is intense vetiver in your face. And that is from the very beginning, the opening to the dry down, vetiver heaven. As you guys know, vetiver is one of my favorite notes, so I absolutely love this fragrance. So upon initial spray on my skin, I do get almost like a fresh soapy-like quality with that vetiver. And then as you start to dry down, there's a slight leathery touch that starts to push through, but also that heavy, green, damp, earthy, and you could almost even say like slightly underground muddiness from this vetiver really starts to push through. Again, kind of like I said, if you haven't experienced the note of vetiver so much, or you don't know so much about it, or you haven't gotten your nose on it, don't start with this fragrance because you will probably end up hating vetiver because it's so intense. This is a very pleasant fragrance to my nose, but my nose is quite experienced with the note of vetiver because I love it. So if you are just diving in or starting to get your feet wet with the note of vetiver, don't start with this one. Maybe Terre d'Hermès might be a good choice. This one is absolutely amazing. Performance is
massive.
Projection, sillage, longevity, it's all there. This one's not coming off your skin. It will be on there. For me, when I wear this one, I really manage the sprays. I believe in less is more. If you overspray this one, maybe people around you, if they don't like vetiver, they might not take it so well. So, go easy on the trigger with this one. You may not get a lot of compliments with this one, but I can guarantee you people around you are probably going to be intrigued because they probably haven't smelled anything quite like this. This one's a great one, and it could be argued that this is a borderline masterpiece. For me, it's that good. So if you can, get yourself a sample of Sultan Vetiver by Nishane. So the next perfumer I'm going to be talking about today is Natalie Lorsan. She's a master perfumer from France, and she's been in this game for a very long time. And she's worked with houses like Amouage, Le Labo, Essential Parfums, Maison Violet, and Bentley, just to name a few. But again, she's one of those perfumers that is her ability to tell a story with her fragrance creations, and I think that's one of the reasons why I'm very, very drawn to her work. So the first fragrance I'm going to be talking about today is from the house of Maison Violet. We have Un Air d'Apogée. So this one is a gorgeous tobacco fragrance, and upon initial spray, it opens up with a slightly sweet honey note, but this fragrance doesn't have any honey in it, but it does have mimosa. And mimosa kind of gives off like a powdery or honey-like vibe, and so that's where it's coming from in this fragrance. And as you start to dry down, that tobacco and hay note really start to push through. So the hay kind of gives it almost like a grassy or earthy feel, and then deeper into the dry down, you get a slight leather note that starts to push through. And this one is just amazing. So this one is just absolutely beautiful, and I don't have another tobacco fragrance like this in my collection. Sillage is absolutely gorgeous. This is a moderate performer though. It has moderate projection, moderate sillage, but that sillage that you do get wafts of is gorgeous and one of the best in my collection. It really is that beautiful. And this is a compliment getter as well. This one will get compliments. People seem to really like this one. So yeah, it's one of my favorites. If you don't know about the house of Maison Violet, Natalie has created all the fragrances for that brand, if I'm not mistaken. So there are a few others from that brand that I'm really interested in. One of them is Sketch. It is really good, so hopefully I can snag up a bottle soon. But yeah, she does tremendous work, and yeah, that house is definitely one to check out. So if you can get yourself a sample set, it would be worth doing in my opinion. It's just that good. So if you can, get yourself a sample of Un Air d'Apogée by Maison Violet. So the second fragrance I'm going to be featuring today that Natalie Lorsan has created is from the house of Bentley, and it's For Men Intense. So this fragrance for me was not love at first sniff, but over time, spending time with it, it has grown on me, and I absolutely love this one, especially in the dry down. The sillage on this one is lovely. It's just kind of a creamy booziness that I really, really enjoy about this. And yeah, it's a phenomenal fragrance. And especially for being, designer house, this is niche quality juice in here. This one is just incredibly warm, spicy, and boozy with just the right touch of sweetness. It's such a gorgeous one, and it works beautifully in the colder months. Just the booziness here, I don't know. And I really enjoy the bottles, the Bentley bottles. I think they're just very classy looking. The only thing that is a bit odd is that when you take this off, the sprayer is so tiny compared to the bottle. So the proportion looks a bit off, but yeah. With the cap on, this bottle looks amazing. I mean, the juice color is great. I mean, it just almost looks like a little flask of whiskey. Yeah, it's really cool. But yeah, this is a great fragrance, and you can get this one for a steal. It's really, really cheap, but smells extremely expensive. So if you can, get yourself a sample of For Men Intense by Bentley. All right, guys, so that's all I have for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed today's content, and let me know down in the comment section which perfumers that you're a big fan of. I'd love to hear about them. So I hope you guys are staying healthy and well, and I'll see you guys in the next video.